Hey, what's going on? This is Thomas Denzi with Combat Sports Coverage. And on this edition, I'll be interviewing UFC fighter Drew Dober over his upcoming UFC fight June 29th, where he'll be taking on Marco Polo Reyes inside Minneapolis, Minnesota, live on big ESPN. So, Drew, tell me how your training camp's going so far, about 3 weeks out from your fight.
Oh man, 3 weeks out. I think it's about 4 weeks out, 3 or 4. But yeah, just hitting it every day, just grinding, just trying to make as many practices as possible. Cutting the calories so I can make the weight. So yeah, this is the hard part, pretty much.
And so, for everyone that doesn't know, where and who are you training out of?
So I have trained out of Denver, Colorado, with Team Elevation.
And what anything y'all doing specific for this training camp?
Nothing specific. I worry more about improving myself as a fighter than really focusing on my opponent. I know Marco is really good at stand up. He likes standing and trading. And I feel like that I'm strong at that as well. So that makes for a fantastic fight. But, I'm looking to, not only beat my next opponent, but, my opponents after that, getting that title. So I got to improve as a fighter overall. So I just got done doing wrestling practice, and I just try to make as many disciplined practices as possible.
A little bit earlier, you mentioned the weight cut. How is that weight cut going for you right now?
Right now it's just, cutting the calories a little bit, which gets harder because I'm still, training as hard as I can. It's just a slow descent, getting my body weight as low as possible. And then I do the whole water loading, water depleting thing with the Lockhart.
And how much do you typically cut the week of the fight? Because you are a pretty big, shredded guy for 155.
Yeah, I'm cut about, I'd say 10 to 15 pounds. So, some weeks has been worse than others, as much as I want it all to be consistent. It's, no training camp or weight cuts the same. But, so I put in the work now so I don't have to put in the work later.
That's a good mindset to have. And then how do you see this fight playing out with your opponent, Marco Polo Reyes? Do you see yourself winning by KO, TKO, submission, or is this going to be an all-out war?
Oh man, if you watch some of his fights, it's either going to be an all-out war or a knockout. And so, I believe I'm just going to put forth my best, effort. I'm going to put the pace on him. I got fire in my hands, so I'm either looking for the knockout or just punching his head for 15 minutes.
That's awesome. That's exciting.
Audiences can expect either a fight of the night or performance of the night, one of the two.
And that's definitely exciting because, like you said, you guys are both good strikers, great strikers. And hopefully you guys do go out there and just trade shots and everything goes perfectly planned for you. And I also wanted to talk to you about how does it feel fighting on big ESPN? You're on the main card fighting on ESPN. How does that feel for you?
Oh, it's super exciting. With this new ESPN deal, it's drawing in different fans, maybe more fans. And so, yeah, that's exciting, but, to be completely honest, when I'm in the cage with another man, I forget the lights are even on me. It's just me and him, and I'm just trying to perform martial arts, the best of my ability. And, really the only thing I think about is just my opponent and the audience that is actually in the arena.
So to you, it doesn't matter too much if you're fighting the first fight or if you're one of the last fights on the card?
Being the later fights, it's more prestigious. But I like to get the work done soon. So, being the first card has its benefits as well.
And then what has made you such a successful UFC fighter? You have a 20-9 record with 13 of those wins fighting inside the UFC, and 13 out of your 20 wins are all by finishes. What has made you such a successful fighter?
I think everyone's trying to look for that, but I believe that I'm very comfortable and I'm just in love with stand-up. And so I like standing and trading. And I think out of, all the fighters, I'm in the top as far as heart determination. You can't break me, and I have fun fighting. So I'm very rarely uncomfortable in the cage. And so, yeah, I bring the heat, I bring the passion, I bring the excitement.
And that's definitely something that's a great thing to have, that, you know, you're not out there so nervous. You're just always, when you're out there watching you strike with your opponents, you always seem like you're really loose and you're just having a great time. So that's always a great thing to have as a fighter, I assume. And then looking back at your UFC career so far, what is your most favoriteest moment inside the Octagon?
Inside the Octagon, man, I feel like every fight is like their own little child, and like all the little ups and downs and journeys. I mean, I'd probably just have to make a list of them. You know, having a win over Jamie Varner, a former world champion, was absolutely fantastic. Having the fight of the night war with Frank Camacho was just super intense. And then, you know, being able to, you know, my last fight, even though I suffered a loss, just being able to share the cage with Benil and having the first round I did, it was also fantastic. It's just in this sport, in this career, you just gotta enjoy the journey. And you know, I'm not looking at this career as just outcomes, but more so just enjoying every single moment, ups, downs, lows, highs, everything.
And speaking of your last fight with Dariush, tell me, how did it feel? You know, you were dominating that fight. Everything was going your way until the very last second you got caught in the submission. And how does that, like, kind of like looking back on that fight, like, what is there, like, something that you, like, what are some positives and some negatives you can take away from that?
Well, I mean, I know, and I was able to show that I can stand and trade with anyone in the lightweight division. I mean, it's the top 10, the killer's row, and I can hang. And, you know, I think I made a critical game plan error in the fight. And, you know, in the top 10 or in, you know, where I'm at now, you know, you just can't make mistakes like that. And so, you know, Benil, you know, is a tough guy and he has great jiu-jitsu. So I just made a game plan error and that led into, you know, another mistake, and you just can't make those. And he was able to snatch that submission. And even the submission was just, I'm going to say weird, but also fantastic at the same time. So hats off to him. But yeah, first round was great. I would like to repeat that, and I plan on repeating that first round in my next fight.
And speaking of your next fight, on the same card as you, we will, before the main event, we'll see Francis Ngannou taking on Junior Dos Anjos. And I wanted to get your pick for that main event fight. Who do you think is going to win that one?
Oh, man, I'm so bad at picking fights. But I think I'm going to have to go through Ngannou. You know, since his title loss, I mean, he's looked like he's, you know, made some adjustments. And, you know, he has that KO power. It could just barely nick you and put you away. And so, you know, if I was a betting man, I'd put my money on Ngannou.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think Ngannou is going to take that fight. I think it's going to be a great fight and a great main event. And do you plan on staying around to watch that, or will you be out already doing a celebration?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, they're going to shove me in that green room. And But yeah, I'd love to stick around and watch the later fights. I mean, not only am I an athlete, but I'm also a huge fan of the sport. So yeah, I'd absolutely love watching the rest of the card.
And then what's something you like to do outside of training and fighting?
Oh man, just being a complete nerd, pretty much. Watch Game of Thrones, read fantasy or sci-fi books, or play video games.
What's your favorite video game right now that you're playing?
To be completely honest, I'm playing XCOM 2. It's like an old game of just like real-time strategy, but I'm a huge fan of like strategy games. So not only am I a nerd, but when it comes to video games, I play like the super nerdy ones.
That's funny. Do you Twitch or anything like that?
I haven't gotten around to it. I mean, I picked up like Apex Legends, and I tried it, but God, guys are so good. I'm just literally just fodder. I'm picking up just to die real quick.
Yeah, I know a lot of other UFC guys that do the Twitch, and I feel like it's a great side thing to do. Get your guys' brand out there, get your name out there even more. So maybe that's hopefully you do it, and everyone can tune in and watch you also play some games and everything. And then, do you have any other special shout outs to any training partners or sponsors?
Oh, yes, I would like to thank Ballingy Group, my new management company this year, and they've been absolutely fantastic, getting me the fights that I want, getting me more fights, getting me more opportunities, and I couldn't ask for anything more.
And do you have any last words for your opponent, Marco Polo Reyes?
Oh, last words for him? I said, let's just have some fun. Let's make this fight entertaining for the audience.
Well, awesome, and thank you for giving me some of your time for coming on my show, and I look forward to seeing your fight. Everyone needs to definitely be tuning in to UFC on Big ESPN June 29th to watch Drew Dober and Marco Polo Reyes put on an epic lightweight battle.
Thank you so much for having me.
And make sure to check out our sponsors, Infinity CBD, for all your CBD oils, pills, creams, and anything you need. And make sure to use our coupon code CombatSports10 to save 10% on your order. I highly recommend checking out their creams because they work amazing.